I think we're good with the three of us, correct? All right, just let me a moment. All right. I'll call the meeting to order. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Board of Zoning Appeals. I will ask Ms. Kukla to read the preamble to get us started.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Liz Kukla. I'm the Secretary of the Board of Zoning Appeals, and I'm going to read the preamble for you this morning, this Monday, March 16th, 2026. In compliance with notification requirements of the city's open meeting law and section 101.021 of the codified ordinances of Cleveland, Ohio, 1976, notice of this meeting has been publicly posted. All boards and commissions under the purview of the City Planning Department conducts its meetings according to Robert's Rules of Order. Actions during the meeting will be taken by voice vote. Abstentions from any vote due to a conflict of interest to be stated for the record prior to the taking of any vote. In order to ensure that everyone participating in the meeting have the opportunity to be heard, we ask that you use the raise hand feature before asking a question or making a comment. The raise hand feature can be found in the participants panel on the desktop and mobile version and activated by clicking the hand icon. Please wait for the chair or facilitator to recognize you and be sure to select unmute and announce yourself before you speak. When finished speaking, please lower your hand by clicking on the raise hand icon again and mute your microphone. We will also be utilizing the chat feature to communicate with participants. The chat feature can be activated by clicking the chat button located on the bottom of the WebEx screen. Please note that call-in users can unmute by using *6.
Thank you. And
all meeting activity is being recorded via the WebEx platform. These proceedings are also being live streamed via YouTube for public view. We have provided a link to the meeting for those who wish to speak on a particular case via our website and email. All requests to speak on a particular matter have been considered. We've also received emails from those who have provided written comment on a particular matter. Back to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. If you could please call the roll.
Ms. Holzer? Present. Mr. Madison?
Present.
Ms. Faith?
Present.
And Ms. Wilson will be out today, and Ms. Roca.
Present.
Madam Chair, Acting Madam Chair, we have a quorum with 4 members. With 4 members, we should announce to the appellants that at this time they run the risk of a tied vote. If there is a tied vote, the variance is denied. So at this time, the appellant may request a postponement to a future date when we would have 5 members, if they so choose to avoid that risk.
Thank you. And to any appellants in the room or on the call, is there anyone who wishes to postpone their matter due to the complement of the board today? Is there anyone on the call who wishes to postpone? I am not seeing anyone raise their hands, so we'll go to any postponements or withdrawals today.
Yes, we have 2 postponements this morning. Calendar number 25-232 at 3178 West 73rd Street, All American Asset proposing to establish use as a studio and retail store in a local retail business district. This appellant requested the postponement due to an updated site plan and needing an updated adjudication, and it has been postponed to April 20th.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And the second one is calendar number 26-013 at 5011 Clark Avenue, Gill House LLC, proposing to establish use as a karaoke cafe in a C2 general retail business district. This appellant has a scheduling conflict and needed to postpone. We have postponed it to April 27th.
Okay, thank you very much.
And that's all that we have. Thank you.
All right, great. So at this time, we will move to the top of the agenda with calendar number 26-014. Ms. Holzer, will you read in the case for us, please?
Sure thing. Our first case is calendar number 26-014. This is at 12605 Buckeye Road. Carlin McNary, owner, proposes to establish use as a daycare center in a C2 residence office district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda and the public record, of which there is one. And with that, Madam Chair, would you like?
We'll wait for Mr. Madison to get settled and
Do the
Yes. So at this time, we will swear in all those who are present for this case. If you are in the room, please come forward. If you are online, please unmute yourselves at this time or use the raise hand feature so we know who we're going to swear in.
Are either of you here for this case? Okay, great.
Please come
We'll off
forward.
to the
Thank
front
you.
And then bring whatever you need with you. And we'll have you sit and unmute yourself at the microphone. Sit right here. Yep, yep. And these two seats at the table. Yep.
And you can grab that mic and just press the button. It'll turn to green. Perfect. Yep. So at this time, do you swear and affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please say your name, spell your name, and reply if I do for the record and your address.
Okay, my name is Erna Bell, E-R-N-A, last name B-E-L-L.
D-E.
B,
Okay.
Bell.
Okay, thank you.
The address is 12605 Buckeye Road, Cleveland, Ohio, 44120.
Thank you, and I do. Did
I
you
do.
say? Perfect. Is there anyone else present for this case in the room or online for today?
No.
I see none, Madam Chair. I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Madison. Ms. Kukla, do we have the history on this case?
Yes, Madam Chair, this property was originally zoned general retail in 1929. 1984, it was changed to local retail business. And then in 2004, it was changed to residence office. In our Records Administration Office, we found only that in 1980, a permit was issued to remodel a Revco building. There's one variance on file in calendar 01-224, and that's in 2001. This board granted a variance to establish use as a restaurant contrary to the parking requirements. And then in the more recent history, we only see, Madam Chair, that in 2002, a permit was issued to change the use to the restaurant that was allowed in that calendar number BZA 01-224. And that's all that I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kukla. We'll move to the legal standard, please. Ms. Mary on the call.
Don't see her yet. I can read it in for you, Madam
Okay.
Chair.
Great, thank you.
Madam Chair, members of the board, appellant is requesting an area variance from the minimum distance requirements of the zoning code. To obtain the area variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you very much. And now we'll move to you, Ms. Bell, if you can tell us about your case.
Well, I'm currently leasing from Mr. McNary. He did give me authorization, of course, to be here to discuss.
And do we have that authorization on file, Ms. Kukla?
Yes, we do.
Okay, great.
I don't know really what to say about it. I mean, I want to open, I'm leasing the building to open a daycare, specifically for, special needs children. It's also going to be, it's just going to be a regular daycare, but it's going to, include, classes for autistic children as well. I really don't know what much to say about it.
So typically we have some facts about your program, how many children, what are your hours of operation, how many days of the week? Just a little bit more about your business plan.
Well, the well, I my intention was to open 7 days a week. You know, I could, scale it down to 5. That's just what I want, but I'm willing to, scale it down to just 5 days a week. 6 a.m. to probably 12 a.m. I want to do the extended hours because now in this day and time, you have a lot of parents that have later hours or extended hours. Most of the parents that I deal with are working at least 10 to 12-hour shifts per day. So, but then again, I'm gonna say, if that's not possible, then that's okay. I'll scale it back. I probably wouldn't have more than 50 children at a,
50?
yeah, 50 at once. I would not have more than 50 at once.
And can the space accommodate 50 children?
The building,
Mhm.
the building can accommodate 100 children. It's 4,000 square feet and it's open area. So it's not, yeah.
And then let's move back to the days of the week. So you can tell the board what your hours of operation, what you'd like them to be.
I would like them to be probably Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to at least 6 p.m.
So before we had 6 a.m. to 12 a.m.
Yeah, I would like to 12 a.m., but right now, what I want to do is just try to get things going. I don't know, the 12 a.m. may not work for that area. I don't know. So I just want to get things open and get it going. So if I can do like at least Monday through Saturday, and I at least want to do one of the weekend days because that's another issue with other daycares. They don't have weekend care. So at least if I can do a Saturday, that will be good.
Okay. And then how many employees are going to be working at the business?
Starting out about 6.
And is there anything else that you'd like the board to know at this time? Or open it up to our board members for questions.
No.
Okay. Do we have any questions from the board?
Do we have a floor plan for the daycare
I submitted, yeah.
site plan? Oh, 1-4. Taking its time to pull up on my computer.
And while they're looking for that, I'll go ahead and ask an additional question. The footprint of the building, it looks like it might have been at one point in time, multiple businesses or multiple interests. Is the daycare, will it exist in the entire footprint of that building? There's nothing else next to it?
Well, the barber shop sits right next door. So the barber shop is there. And I guess if I'm facing that way, it will be to my left. That will be the daycare there.
Okay, so the barber shop is on the left, where the mural is,
Yeah,
that's the barber shop.
right.
Okay, and then where's the entrance to the daycare then?
Well, they have the shutters down so you can't
I
see it.
Okay, so where the black,
Yeah, there are double doors there. And then once you go through those double doors, there are another set of doors.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Looks like we have drawings here. And then I'll open it up to the board again for any questions.
Yes, Madam Chair, I have a couple of questions as well. One, can you maybe just share with us, what is your parking plan or strategy for having, I think you said somewhere around 6 employees and possibly 50 children? What are some of the thoughts around parking?
Well, the parking lot, as you can see, has in the front, there's like 6 parking spaces. Along the side, there's 2 parking spaces with the possibility of it being 4 parking spaces because it's enough room there, but there are only lines for 2. But actually, to the rear of that, that's actually where probably the administrator will park. Like there's a play area like directly behind the building, but the gate is further is further in, like the building sits here, the gate sits back here. Then all of that is like another parking space where you're not even anywhere near the gate. You know, you're still at the, like basically the edge of the building. So that could be another parking space as well. And there's blue gobs of parking, street parking, you know, on street parking, you know, all around the area. I mean, lots of parking. So, including East 126, which is directly next to the daycare.
Thank you. And then can you speak to just your experience with running daycares in general?
Well, I started at home in 1999 all the way until 2019. And then I transitioned to a building that I have in Garfield. And that building, there's actually a parking lot next to the building. So we don't really have an issue with parking there. Most of the time, the parents are pulling up, bringing kids in, signing them in, and they leave. The only time that we have, you know, like the parents may stay on site is when we're having a special program or something like that, or when there's a conference that we need to have with the parent or something like that. I mean, other than that, I don't have much more to say. It's a situation where they're going to be pulling up, dropping the kids off and leaving. It's not going to be a situation where somebody's going to be parked all day, you know, taking up space or whatever. So I don't know, you know.
Yeah. And can you speak, how will you recruit some of the children?
Well, I already have some children because I've already been in the business for 20 plus years. So I already have some children that are just basically waiting on me. The other way that I recruit children is flyers, cards, of course, word of mouth, because I've dealt with so many different families, you know, they tell their family and, you know, so that way. And probably like internet, social media, like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And will any of the children with the program, will they require medication or is there staff training that's been involved to support just the employees that you plan to have?
Well, whenever you have a daycare, there's gonna be a chance that you're gonna have a child that needs meds. There's certain meds that the state will not allow us to administer, so we don't even have to worry about that. But there's certain meds that our staff has to be trained to administer. And then, you know, we administer and we record, you know, each time we administer that medication, and we keep that on file as well as the meds. We keep them labeled, you know, when they expire. Before they expire, we notify the parents so that they can, you know, get everything current again and submit it to us. But yeah, the staff definitely has to be trained to administer any medication.
Thank you. And my last question, Madam Chair, is can you speak to maybe the safety plan that you will have in place, you know, not only for the employees, but for the children itself, you know, as you kind of look to open up anything around safety and security?
As far as the safety and security, like no one will be able to enter the building unless they're buzzed in. Like we're gonna have all that, you know, and we're gonna have cameras. So we're gonna see you before you even enter, you know, as well as an intercom, so that we can speak to you as well. So that we're gonna make sure the building is secure in that way. As far as any other safety plans, you know, we do drills on a regular basis. As far as making sure that we can get the children out of there if there's a fire, or we do other drills as far as tornadoes and different things, how, you know, where the children should kneel at, you know, and you know, we do that like really on a monthly basis, we do the drills and we record those drills. And we have it for ourselves as well as the state when they come in, so they can see, how we, how we keeping up with this stuff, these, safety drills and stuff like that. So the building will be monitored with cameras in and out. And, you won't be able to enter the building unless you're buzzed in. So we have to know who you are before you're coming in and out. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
Any other questions from the board?
Excuse me. Madam Chair, I'm curious to know if we have any correspondence on this, and then I'd like to hear city planning's comments.
Madam Chair, we do not have any correspondence.
Okay, thank you. We'll move to city planning.
Good morning, Madam Chair. My name is Xavier Bay. We actually did get an email. I don't think it made it to Liz though, from Kim Scott. She's the neighborhood planner for the area, and she mentions that she's, I think, spoken with the applicant previously, and we're supportive of the use as a daycare here. The code in residence office districts calls for a spacing of about 15 feet between residence districts, and that's the main reason this is here. But Kim mentioned that there's no opposition.
Thank you. And have you had a conversation with the barber shop next door? Are they supportive of your project?
Yeah, he owns the whole building.
Oh, okay.
He
So
wants me to.
it's the landlord.
Yes.
Great. Thank you for clarifying that. And then just with respect to the dropping off and picking up of the kids, how will you handle the traffic pattern for that? You're on a major street, when people are gonna be pulling in and pulling out, it might stop traffic a little bit. What's your plan to move people along, make sure that there's no bottlenecks?
Well, the thing with that is, I feel that people get intimidated when you talk about like this big daycare and all of that. Usually the children come at different times. You have nobody's usually there all at the same time. So I may have 5 children that come in every morning at 8 a.m., or around 8 a.m. And then there may not be another child that comes in until 8:45, and then another child at 9:05. They don't all come at the same time. So it's not like you have this big, like 15 cars trying to get in and out of there at one time. And believe me, it's quick. When they come and drop that child off, they're dropping them off and they're gone. It's not like a lingering thing. And like I said, as far as like when we have like most of the time, if we have a parent needs to come in for a discussion or whatever, that's individually. That's not like several people at one time. If we have a function, now that may be an issue because of the limited parking, but we'll make it clear to the parents that you may have to park on street, and walk.
Right.
I don't see my years of doing childcare, it has never been an issue. I mean, I've seen daycares with no parking, literally, no parking like on site. But, they figured it out. I don't know how. They figured it out and it worked. So I don't know. I know leaving out of the parking lot on Buckeye, I don't see it in a problem, and the parking lot is pretty spacious. So if you pull in, there's enough area in between those parking spaces there and those that you can pull back, you can turn around, you can do whatever you need to do. It's not an issue. Yeah.
Thank you. And I'll open it up to the board one last time for questions, and then we'll move to a motion.
Madam Chair, my comment would be normally, excuse me, we like to put conditions of hours into the variance. In this case, I would be inclined to give the appellant the hours that she requests, the 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 12 a.m. Knowing that she may not exercise all of those days or hours at the onset of her business, but not limiting her to lesser hours and days should her business grow and she want to expand them. So that would be my suggestion.
Thank you, Ms. Faith.
And, Madam Chair, just prior to the vote, just a question of standard regarding if the area variance is denied, what practical difficulty will you face? So that simply means if this isn't granted today, what difficulties will you face currently?
Financial, because I've been working on this for like a year. And it has drained me financially, so. Because I'm paying rent on the space that, and not only that, I've spent thousands of dollars on the inside. Because I had to basically go in there and like renovate it, you know, so, yeah, financial.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, I have one question. On the site plan that was submitted, just so that I'm clear, it looks like it says, for example, school age class 30. Is that the number of children you intend on having in each space? So it says 30 under school age class, 11 under second pre-K class, 10. So it looks like, I was just curious if that's the number of seats in each class or what those numbers mean.
I think what it was is that I did the measurements.
Oh, okay.
I can have up to 30 children in that area. I don't know that I will actually have and then those numbers may vary because when the state comes out,
Mm-hmm.
actually, no, not the state, but when the fire department comes out from here with you guys, I'll get my actual number.
Mm-hmm.
Because they may say something different, which is probably less.
Okay.
So I'm just going by what the state will allow me. They give you so much square footage
Mhm.
per child. So
Mhm.
that's what I'm going by.
Got it.
Mhm.
Thank you.
All right, I will entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, given the testimony we've heard today, I'm going to include the suggestion that I made with regard to the condition that we allow 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. Should she need to expand her business to the full extent of the hours, so she's not limited. Given that, I think we've covered every other concern that we have. I move approval of calendar number 26-014.
Thank you, Ms. Chair, or Ms. Faith, excuse me. I think I heard you say 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. I think the appellant was seeking 6 a.m. to 12 a.m. Would you like to amend that condition?
She said
Right,
12
if I did say that, I missed
12 a.m.
because I know she means midnight, so 6 a.m.
Yeah.
6 a.m. to 12 a.m.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. We have a motion on the table. Do we have a second?
Board member, please.
I was gonna say, Board Member Holzer, I second.
Can we call the vote, please?
Sure. Mr. Madison?
Yes.
Ms. Holzer?
Yes.
Ms. Faith?
Yes.
Ms. Roca?
Yes.
Calendar number 26-014 is granted conditionally. We will ratify this next Monday. We will send you a letter, but you can contact us the following Wednesday for further instruction.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Good luck with your project.
Okay, thank you. You all have a great day.
You too.
Congratulations.
All right, we will call
Monday.
the next case, calendar number 26-015. Ms. Holzer, if you could read in the case, please.
Sure thing. Our next case is calendar number 26-015. This is at 4955 Pearl Road. JMN Strategies and Co. LLC. Owner proposes to establish use as a used car sale lot in a local retail business district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda and the public record, of which there are two. And with that, Madam Chair, I'll hand it over to Mr. Madison for the oath.
Thank you. At this time, we will swear in all those who are present for this case. We'll start here in the room, and if you're online, just unmute yourself and raise your hand. We'll make our way over to you. At this time, do you swear and affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? We'll start with you, council member, and then move over to you. Please say your name, spell your name, address, and I do for the record.
I do. Chris Harsh, KRISHARSH, Cleveland City Council, Ward 4, 601 Lakeside.
Thank you.
Name is Mohammed Bana, MOHAMMBD.
Excuse me. Sorry, can you please turn on your mic?
Oh,
right
thank
here?
you.
Thank you.
No problem. Name Name is Mohammed Bana, MOHAMMED. Last name is Bana, BANNA, and I do. And I'm here for the address 4955 Pearl Road.
Thank you. And we'll move online. I see that there's a hand raised there. Please unmute yourself and please swear in.
I do. Connor Brentar, CONNORBRENTAR. I'm with Old Brooklyn CDC, 4974 Pearl Road.
Thank you. Is there anyone else present for this case? Seeing none, Madam Chair, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you very much. Ms. Kukla, if we can move to history of the property, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This property was originally zoned general retail in 1929. In 1991, it was changed to local retail business. In our Records Administration Office, we found that in 1960, a permit was issued to erect a 45 by 30 block service garage. In 1962, a double-faced sign was erected on that property. There are no variances on file. And then in the more recent history, we see a certificate of disclosure was issued in 2015, stating that the authorized use of the property is as service garage. And that's all that I have. Thank you.
Thank you. And if we could please move to legal standard.
Madam Chair, members of the board, appellant is requesting a use variance and an area variance from the landscape strip requirements of the zoning code. To obtain the use variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will result in an unnecessary hardship particular to the property, such that there will be no economically feasible use of the property without the variance, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code. To obtain the area variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent
Of the zoning code.
of the zoning code. Sorry. I
There
didn't
we
know
go.
that before.
Thank you, Mary. All right, we will move to you, Mr. Bana, to present your case. Tell us what you'd like the board to hear.
Alrighty, so first I want to thank you guys for having me here today. And then I'm actually here to hopefully get your approval to open a small dealership. I didn't even know when I first got the property. I didn't know that it wasn't a dealership because before me there was a dealership that was there for previous before me. I mean, if you've seen the picture before, it said used car dealership. Yeah, no. And then there's a dealership not too far right, like 2 buildings down from me. There's another dealership there, I sent the what's it called? I got the name of it. I sent the blueprints of the property. The blueprints was the blueprints. If you see it, it's structured like it for a dealership. You know what I'm saying? For a used dealership, there's already parking for the customers separated for assigned customers. There's parking for right there where it says customer parking, and then there's parking for the cars. It has its own building. There's offices in there for the customers. We're planning on being there for 6 days a week, 9 to 6, not interrupting any, making any loud sound or nothing. Next door, we're pretty close with all the businesses right next door to us. The Detroit Auto Parts. We've been my dad owned a dealership down the street for years, and he retired and trying to take over his footsteps.
And when did you purchase the property?
We purchased the property in June
June of 2025?
2025.
And I'll open up to the board for any questions at this time.
I'd like to hear from city planning, I think.
Sure. Well, let's move to the council person if you have any comments.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Appreciate your time this morning. I am here to oppose the request. For now, I think we could come to an arrangement down the road. There's a few things going on at this property. First off, I have received and fielded calls about parking on the sidewalk. Right next door is a auto parts dealer, I believe, Detroit Road. I think is right there. And I've stopped by there before to talk about the parking on the sidewalk, which was, you know, trucks pulling up in front of the store, right? And they said, oh, that's not us. That's the guy next door, which would have been him. But his place was, I'm not even sure that it was occupied at the time. So there was somebody in that garage doing something. I don't know if it was the Mr. Or not yet, but it didn't resolve the problem, and we still have that issue of parking on the sidewalk right there. There's also the gentleman owns multiple parcels in this area, and I'm a little bit concerned about getting, you know, the cart in front of the horse, figuring out what the total plan is for the business in that area, because it's not just this parcel; it's on the other side of Peabody's, I think. Let me make sure I get this right. I think he owns on the other side of Peabody's, and then on the next block north, I think too, that repair shop up there is also his under an LLC. So I'm a little bit concerned about, you know, expanding use while there's an aggregation of property in that area, and we don't know what the big vision is for the total area. Lastly, auto use has been an increasing runaway problem in the neighborhood. It's one of the top issues I hear about right now is that we grant a variance for one use, and before you notice the junkyard. I'm going to be doing a commercial code enforcement sweep all up and down View State, Pearl, the main corridors in my ward this spring to talk to the dealership owners and the repair shops and make sure that they come back into compliance, because it's getting pretty wild out there. And I would ask that Mr. Bana work with me on that to make sure that we've got everybody in compliance before we talk about expansion or changing of use in the area, which could impact everybody's businesses if we do it properly and appropriately. And lastly, I would just remind the board and urge the board to focus heavily on the hardship issue. The parcel has been used for many years. There's lots of uses for it. I don't see any hardship if he doesn't get the variance. But perhaps with a little bit of time, we could come back in a few months together requesting the variance. But you posted it.
Thank you, Councilman. And then I'll turn it back to you, to the appellant, for any rebuttal to that or commentary.
So, Mr. Chris, sorry. So on the parking side, I will make sure there's nobody parking on the side with the property's been vacant right now. Nobody's, you know what I'm saying? We have all the space right there, all the space to make sure we have two entrances. So nobody, you know, nobody can, that way nobody can park on Detroit Auto Parts. I will make sure we won't interrupt any parking for any businesses right next door to us. And we're good friends. We're next door with the owners of Detroit Auto Parts and Gene, and you know, we're a small family just trying to make a living. That's all we're trying to do. We're not trying to bother nobody.
And then with respect to the other properties, do you own other dealerships in the neighborhood?
We own, not dealerships. We own a mechanic shop over there. We got permits for it, and we have no problems there. We've been there for a long time. We're pretty good friends with all the neighbors. We have no issues.
And the councilman, it sounds like he plans on doing a analysis of all these types of businesses in the neighborhood. Would you be willing to work with him on his project?
I will be willing to work whatever he needs. You know, like I said, I'm here to we've been in the city of Old Brooklyn for a long time. We've been friends with the whole neighborhood. We're friends with all the business side. We have no problems, no issues with anybody there. The property's been used for a dealership before us. There was a dealership there for 10 years before us. Before them, there was a dealership. Nobody had any issues, no parking problems or separate entrances on the main street for the dealership. Like I said, we're only there 6 days a week from 9 to 6. We're not trying to do nothing crazy, 15, 20 cars. Customers have their own parking spots. If you see the permits, customers have their own parking spots. There's parking spots for the dealership. And then there's offices for customers to come in. So we're not blocking any sites or anything there.
All right. Does that conclude your comments at this time?
Yes, it does. I appreciate it.
Thank you. We'll move to city planning, please.
Good morning. I did also want to mention, I think Connor is online as well. I just wanted to make sure we give him a chance to
Oh,
speak.
I'm sorry. I missed you, Connor. Let's move to you, Connor, for your comments.
That's all right, thank you. I also wanted to express our opposition today. Generally, OBCC is concerned about new auto uses in the neighborhood, especially with this being located along our main street, Pearl Road. However, as outlined based on the councilman's comments as well as the applicants, I think we're definitely willing to, work with anyone involved on any future compromises, should that be necessary.
All right, thank you. And now we will move to city planning.
Good morning. We did get a comment from Brittany Pabon, the neighborhood planner for the area. She mentioned that the area does have like a lot of legacy industrial uses and a lot of nearby auto focused uses such as repairs or auto sales. Then she also mentioned that the landscaping requirements should be upheld.
Okay, on to the landscaping requirements. We actually have not heard any testimony about that. So I would like to hear about your plans for the landscaping.
Yes, we do plan on putting landscaping in front, right in front of where they're asking right before if you see where it says by the sidewalk, we do plan on putting landscaping there for it to get, for any, to put like grass in there and stuff to prevent,
So you're asking the board for a variance for a 4-foot frontage landscape strip. Are you planning on, so you're planning on doing some landscaping,
yes, we do plan on doing some
but you
landscaping.
won't meet this requirement? is
No,
that-
we won't need this requirement. We do, I mean, we are willing to work with the city if they do need the landscaping to get us approved with the variance. And Mr. Chris, we're here to, you won't have any trouble with us. We've been in the city for a while, right next, in Old Brooklyn. We're pretty good friends with the neighborhoods. We've been helping out the city for a while. All our neighbors, we've been pretty good with them. So.
Do you have any drawings of the landscape plans? No? Because I don't see anything here.
Yeah, right now, currently, there's no landscaping, but I mean, if landscaping is a requirement, we have no problem with doing landscaping in front of, close to the sidewalk there, if you guys do require it.
Well, landscaping is a requirement, but you're asking us for a variance today. So I guess what I'm asking you is, do you need a variance for landscaping, or are you planning on meeting the code as it requires?
We are planning on meeting the code as it requires.
So if that is the case, we would need updated drawings from you to show that your landscaping plan is sufficient.
So can we get a variance, you said? Can we get a variance?
Well, you're here for a variance.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so one of the variances, so you need a variance to operate as a used car lot. That's your
Yes.
first variance request. And then you also need a variance to not have the landscape strip that's required by the code. So what my request is to you is for you to tell the board that you are either going to continue to seek this variance where you're not going to provide the landscaping that the code requires, or you do want to provide landscaping and you will meet the code. And then in that case, we'll need updated drawings from you that show what your landscaping plans are.
Yes, I have no problems updating the drawings to provide landscaping.
Okay, so go ahead.
Madam Chair, if I could say one thing to the appellant, just so he understands, the landscaping is required to be 4 feet into your property.
Mhm.
So what's required by the building code is that you dig up that space and plant. It needs to be shrubs. It needs to be, okay. And just so you know that, as well as there is a rear transition strip required of 8 foot in the back. I don't know if we've spoken, if he's
We have-
considered that as well. But that
Have
is
you
another-
considered that as well, that you would need to also dig up the back of your parking lot and add landscaping there?
We have no problems keeping up with code if the city does require it, yes.
Okay, so what I'm hearing from you is that you are going to redraw your plans, add a 4-foot frontage landscape strip to the front, and add a 8-foot landscape transition strip to the back of your property. And you
Yes.
will resubmit plans.
We could
Okay.
resubmit the plans.
So, and if that's the case, then we are removing the need for the second variance. All right, and I will open it back up to the board for questions.
Madam Chair, can someone from planning point out where the 8-foot landscape transition strip would be needed? Where is the building abutting the 1 or 2 family residential district?
Yeah, good morning. My name is Xavier Bay. I'm in city planning, standing in for the zoning administrator. And so you can see here on the screen now is the parcel in question is highlighted blue. The different zoning districts are presented by the different colors you see on the screen. So the pink is local retail, the yellow is 2-family residential. And so when you're abutting that residential property, an 8-foot landscaping transition strip is required. And so that goes along the entirety of the property boundary. And so as you can see, a portion of that is the building. The other portion is the parking area directly adjacent to the 2-family zoning district. If you're looking at the plan, it would correlate here along the property line to the easterly most side of the parcel.
So Madam Chair, to the appellant, in order to comply with the zoning code, he would basically be losing all of the parking along so those 6 parking spots, as well as all of the parking spots adjacent to the sidewalk unless he pulls them back in. That's what you would need to do in order to comply. You would be losing a significant amount of parking.
Okay,
And you're saying you're willing to do that in order to comply with the code?
we're willing to do that, yes, to apply with the code if needed.
And is that where you park cars that you sell?
No, so where you're looking at, that's the customer's parking right there.
Okay.
We actually have more extra customers parking, but the cars, if you see on the other side, that's where the car sales. And like I said, we're not looking to do a big dealership. We're looking to do a small used car dealership. We're not looking to do too many cars. We're looking 10, 15 cars max.
So as Madam Chair, so on this parcel specifically, the only cars that you would have parked are customer and staff parking. You wouldn't have any cars that you're selling
So
in
we
this.
have in the middle right there, those lines, you see how it says
Uh-huh.
existing car lot right there? That's, we have cars we can park right there, and then we have cars all around right there on the other side too.
Along, I want to make sure that I
You
understand.
see where it says property line right there?
Correct, but if
Yeah.
you were complying with the zoning code, that would all need to be landscaped, so you would not have those parking spots.
Well, all of it has to be landscaped or just a strip?
You would need to do a 4-foot frontage landscaping strip along
8-foot and back.
an 8-foot in the back.
Yeah, and then we can back up the.
So you would be moving your parking
Yeah.
closer.
Mhm.
Madam Chair, in the past, you may remember, we have allowed a combination of a smaller landscape strip with a board-on-board fence for a transition strip. The board has also allowed just a board-on-board fence. I think there may be a board-on-board fence there. I would defer to Mr. Bay if he could show photos of the.
Mr.
existing
Bay, do we
condition.
have any photos of a fence? Do you have a fence there, sir, already?
Yeah, we do, if you see how it is, it's already boarded up from the main street. There's parking right there, so that way it's not, it's not. You see where it's kind of fenced in by itself.
I see. So that it's hard to see, but it looks like there is a fence there.
Yes, there is a
Did you-
fence on the sides there too, yes.
Yeah, this is Xavier Bay. I did see a fence on my site visit. On the photo on the top right, I'm trying to zoom in here. You can see there is a fence present. But it would be, ideal for the applicant to indicate that on the plans that they send in as revisions.
So you would need to, the fence wasn't on your original plans that were submitted, so you would need to indicate that there's a fence there if you're, presumably you're keeping the fence. And then how the landscaping strip would be added to that as
Okay.
well. All right, any more questions from the board?
Yes, madam.
yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Mr.
No, please.
Okay, my question, Madam Chair, is through you to Mr. Bay. Do we have any saturation maps, or do you know what the number of similar businesses are within that immediate area or within that ward?
Good morning. This is Xavier Bay. We don't have a saturation map prepared for this hearing. I can only mention that on my site visit, I did see just across the street, there's another auto oriented, I think it's some type of salvage yard or repair yard, just adjacent to the Jack Frost Donuts here where my cursor is hovering across the street. As well as to the south here, another auto oriented use. And I guess just my experience in general going up and down Pearl Ave or Road, you know, there's sparsely just kind of scattered out other auto oriented uses.
Thank you, Mr. Bay. In follow-up to that, Madam Chair, my comment would be, we have both council and the CDC in opposition to this project. And it also seems that there are a number of, shall we say, moving parts that are still left to be fully resolved and completely designed for this project. And I think to benefit the neighborhood, to make sure that all the necessary requirements are in compliance and on a clear and concise plan that the appellant has a clear understanding of, because I think right now it may be a little fluid for him in the understanding and what he might and might not be giving up. I think it would be of benefit, as the council suggested, to postpone, let them have a time to let the appellant have an opportunity and the benefit of meeting with the city planner and the council to get a cohesive plan together so that it is an asset to the neighborhood as opposed to a deterrent. We on the board are well aware that in Ward 12 and other wards around the city, we are having an abundance of auto dealerships and auto related businesses clustering together in certain wards. And so I think we want to be careful that that doesn't become prevalent throughout the city.
Thank you, Ms. Faith. I'll give you an opportunity to respond. What Ms. Faith is suggesting here is that you do have the ability to postpone this case if you so choose, to work with the councilman on the councilman's proposed plans for the broader neighborhood as it relates to dealerships and used car lots, et cetera. You don't have to do that, but that is one option for you. You also, there's a possibility that your variances get denied today, in which case you would not be able to operate as your current business, or that you get approved. So, those are the three kind of things that could happen today. So I'll let you kind of think through that and tell the board how you'd like to proceed.
Well, I have no problem working with the city of, I have no problem meeting any expectations that you need. I'm here to better the city. I want to be a part of the city. I'm here to help and improve the city. We worked with a lot of neighbors. We've been helping them a lot. And I think we're a good fit. Like I said, we're not troublemakers. We've been, I worked in industry for a long time. My dad's worked in industry for a long time. We're not trying to open out of hours. We're not trying to, we're just a small family trying to build a business. That's pretty much what we're really trying to do. Like I said, it's been a dealership before us. Nobody had any issues with them before us. Payless Auto was there before us, before them. On Google Maps, if you go on Google Maps, it's always been a dealership. Like the way the building is designed, it's built for a car dealership. You know, and I'm here with the city. I respect Mr. Chris Harsh. I know he did a lot for the city of Old Brooklyn, you know, and I want to work with him. And I would, if we can put something that, you know, if we can put something that needs to be worked on, I'm there for it to help this, you know, to get approved today. I'm willing to work with whatever he needs to get approved today with him.
All right, and then, since it hasn't been asked yet, I'll go ahead and ask. So the legal standard you have to meet for a use variance to operate this car lot is the hardship standard. If you could please describe to the board what hardship that you will face if your variances are denied today, or your variance, I should
Well,
say.
Well, we will face a big hardship financially because we pulled a big loan to open this dealership to use. And like I said, when we first got the property, you know, we did a mistake, but I just thought because it's been like, I've been in the city of Old Brooklyn for so long. You know, it's before us, it's been a dealership had it before and stuff. So, I mean, really, it'll be a big hardship financially because it'll put us in the cluster because there's nothing, I mean, our intentions was for a dealership and it's built for a dealership and it's, you know, and like I said, we're here for the city. We're here to help whatever we can to help going. Anything you guys need from us, anything, you know, anytime Mr. Chris here needs something from us, tells me do something, I will do it right away. You know, I'm not, like I said, we're here to work as one community to help the community together for us and for the community too.
All right, one last opportunity for questions from the board.
I guess my question is, Madam Chair, just through you, so across the street, there's already a dealership that you guys own?
Across the street, no, across the street, there's a junkyard there. There are parts, like, we're, like, the whole neighborhood, it's more like, it's like a commercial industrial neighborhood. Right next to us, there's car parts, you know, so we're not like on a street where there's like, they're like housing residential, so we're not like bothering nobody, you know, and it's a main street, it's a commercial street. And like I said, the hours we're gonna be opening, we're gonna be opening from 9 to 6, Sundays off. Saturdays, we're gonna be closing, I mean, on calls mostly on Saturdays.
Okay. And Madam Chair, through you, I guess is the recommendation, are you pulling this back off the table to work with city planning and the council member? Are you
I was hoping
withdrawing
we
this,
can
or-
get it going. I was hoping we can get it going while we work with city planning. Like I said, I'm here with Mr. Chris Hart. Anything that he needs, you know, any recommendations he needs while we work on, because we're paying money on, you know, we're paying mortgages and everything. So I'm here to work whatever he needs. I'm here to help him while we're going through it.
Yeah, so I guess as Madam Chair kind of mentioned, the options is if we go forward and we vote, then we make the decision. If you withdraw to take the time to meet with the council member and city planning and do some of the things that Mrs. Faith talked about with the moving pieces, and then it comes back to the board, then we have more options to review and discuss and to consider. So if we do go forward with a vote, that's will be the official decision that we make. But you could withdraw or take some time to do that, but it will be up to either your decision or the decision of
Okay,
the
I
chair.
will, if we can take some time, then that way I can talk with Mr. Chris and we can sit and talk and then come back, or do we
Okay,
have to
well-
come back after we?
All right, and it sounded
Yeah.
like, Councilman, you wanted to say something?
Madam Chair, I was going to recommend that. I'm happy to talk to him about a path forward at this location. I'm happy to sit down and figure out, because it's not, so the bottom left is the junkyard. On the other side of Peabody's is another's. On the north side is Mr. Bona's other property. And I would really like to sit down with him and figure out what the total plan is, considering that he's basically leapfrogging Detroit Auto and is going to be flanking it, what the plan for the business is, given the multiple parcels. 'Cause that's where my really concern lies. And, you know, there's different zoning down here. There's a slight bit of industrial where the junkyard obviously is, but I'm not looking to expand that. It's a residential neighborhood. And I'm not looking to see industrial use be expanded north into more of the residential streets. So I'm happy to talk with him and figure out how it looks moving forward, considering that he's got significant property ownership in the area. But if he wants to pull back and withdraw the application, I'm happy to figure out something that we can come back together. But if he wants to go forward and request the variance today, that's his call.
Yeah, so your call, you know, you can postpone, you can withdraw, you can
I
move forward. with
actually,
the vote.
right now I want to postpone, that way I can sit with Mr. Chris and we can move
Okay.
forward. Can I postpone this till,
Yes, let's talk to Ms. Kukla about a potential date. How much
Sure.
time do you think that the two of you would need to speak to each other?
Couple of months.
Couple months? Ms. Kukla,
So
is that?
closer to the end of May, maybe May 18th?
that works with me. Does that work for you, Mr. Chris?
Hey, what?
May
18th?
18th?
You think you need more time?
Yeah, I think I may need a little bit more time than that. Cause it's already March, right?
Mhm.
That's only 2 months. How about in July?
If that's all right with the appellant.
I was hoping we can do a little bit, you know, it's just this time and money we're with, you know what I'm
You would
saying? And I will meet, I'll just start working with you today. I can come to your office today. I'm one of those people, I move forward. I'm here, you know,
I will be out of
I'll-
town.
yeah.
I'll be out of town for most of June, Madam Chair, Secretary. So May 18th doesn't work for me. What else do we have?
25th is Memorial Day.
And then he's out for most of June. I have a May 11th. Or are you saying you want to go soon? You want to go further?
No, he's saying he can't do it until after June.
Okay, so the first week in July is July 6th, and then the second week would be July 13th.
July 13th is good.
Okay.
So in the meantime, you would want to also get your plan updated showing where you want to put that land, will you put the
Right.
4 foot of landscape in the front?
Okay.
And if you want to put any landscape or show your fencing at the rear where it abuts the 2-family.
Okay. I have no
Yep,
problem.
so
I
we will
mean,
need updated drawings showing the landscape strips in both the front and the back. You'll want to make sure that your fence is identified on your drawings as well. And I would say reach out to your city planner, who is Brittany Pabon, if you have any questions about plans, the landscape strip, or anything else.
Sounds good.
You know, we look forward to the two of you working together and hopefully for a positive outcome.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much for
Thank you, Madam
being
Chair.
here. Yep.
Appreciate it.
Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Thank
All right. I think that is our last case for the day.
Yes, it is.
Great. We will move on to old business. Here, if I can find it. We have 1 through 4 for ratification. Any objections?
No objection.
No objection.
Excellent. And do we have any affirmations or information? Doesn't look like it.
Nope.
Great.
Cool.
With that, I will go ahead and adjourn the meeting. Thank you.
Nicely done, Ms. Roca.
Yes.
Everyone else.